the whole T1D story, obviously, first off, hits very close to home for us because we live it every day.
I'm literally in tears that you guys are creating that.
If you don't take care of yourself on a self-care standpoint,
And the stories are just so like inspirational. Hey Palmr fam, I'm Rebecca.
and I'm Nick.
And we are here for our first YouTube video, and we are so excited.
Yes.
So we're gonna pop some champagne.
Here we go.
Oh Lord, please don't like.
Should I have opened this ahead of time?
Probably.
Probably, yeah. All right, here's the thing. Don't take that long.
Because your muscles.
All right.
All right.
Here we go.
Let's do it.
1, 2, 3.
All right. It's 5 o'clock somewhere, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's basically 5 o'clock. Our cute little Palmer cups.
All righty. Cheers.
Cheers. Right? Okay. So excited for this.
Yes.
So let's get started. So let's do a little like background of who we are.
Definitely.
Okay, so why don't you go first?
All right, I'll go first. So, as you know, my name is Nick, and I've been in this whole merchandising world for over 20 years. And so we'll get into this a little bit more later, but I've just been doing this for such a long time and always wanted to build out a clothing line. And so Rebecca and I really came together on it. So I don't want to ruin too much already, but that's my whole background. That's where I come. I have a company called Threadbird where we help other brands make amazing merchandise. So that is kind of my backstory. And then I have 2 kids with type 1 diabetes, which we'll also be getting into here in a little bit on how this all kind of came together.
Just a little backstory on myself. I was in the commercial real estate industry for the past 10-ish years. So that's what I've been doing. But I've always had a love for fashion. I actually wanted to go to fashion school for college, but then decided to stay local and save some money. So I did that instead. And then I end up marrying this merch guy, and the rest is kind of history. So like Nick mentioned, I'm a stepmom to Parker and Evie. And I have been in their life for about 3-ish years.
Yeah.
We got married April of 2023. And then we moved into our own house. So we're still kind of like new in the whole like blended family like life, but it's going a lot better than when it started. Of course, there were some bumps, but yeah, I'm happy to say that I think we're getting into a rhythm.
Yeah, we are. So it's crazy that it's been 3 years.
Yeah.
You walked into this journey not knowing anything about type 1 diabetes.
Should we say how we met?
I think
Which is like a little like background story of how we met.
100%.
Okay.
Yes.
Because it's like so like ironic and like funny how we met because we were so connected but just didn't know each other.
Yes, 100%.
So quick story. My sister has been Nick's industrial broker for the past 10+-ish years. She's gotten you how many warehouses?
5?
Okay, so 5
Warehouses,
warehouses for Threadbird, his merchandise company that he has. And my really good guy friend from my first job out of college is one of Nick's best friends. So we had that connection. We had never met each other.
Never met.
My sister Monica and our friend Chris kind of like got together, and she was trying to like plan for us to like meet. And they were very awkward about it because they're not very cool about it.
No.
So they like set up multiple dinners with like all of us. It was a big group of us. They would all get up at the same time to go to the bathroom. And I think it was like after the second dinner of them like being awkward and all leaving at the same time, we were like, oh, we're being set up. Like they're trying to set us up. And then it still took a few months.
Yeah, I was not even looking to date. I was very anti-dating at that point in my life. I just wanted to focus on myself and my kids. And that was it.
Yeah. And actually, fun fact, on our first dinner meet, Nick talked about his fake girlfriend the entire time at dinner.
Yep.
Which he claims is a fake girlfriend. Who knows? The verdict is still out. But I'm going to trust him that he was making up some girlfriend.
That's how much I did not want to date?
Yes. So then we actually got together because Nick invited me to a Halloween party that he was throwing. And he was like, hey, I'm inviting your sister. And, you know, Chris and his wife will be there. So you should come too. And I was like, sure, let me go. So then before the party, we had a dinner date. We had a few dinner dates by ourselves this time. And it went a lot better than the
a lot better. Definitely a lot better.
So we did that. And then, yeah, that's when we kind of like started dating. I briefly met the kids at the Halloween party.
Yes.
But obviously, like, I'm just Rebecca, like, Nick's friend kind of thing. Yep. So met them there. My God, it's been so long. But it's been so long, but, like, not really.
Yeah. It feels like we've been together a lot longer than we actually have. We're that much in sync, I think, that it was just, like, we met, it just made sense. And, I don't know, just, like, soulmates, whatever you want to call it, like meant to be. There's so many signs that I feel like we have received from a higher power that like, no, this is what was supposed to happen. It was not like by accidents by any means.
Yes, I would agree with that.
Let's actually talk about what Palmr is.
Yes.
Do you want to take this and kind of share what your vision is for Palmr?
Yeah, so I think I'll start it off. So Nick and I have always shared a love for tropical outings. A lot of our dates or our vacations when we were dating were like tropical. I'm born and raised here in Orlando, Florida. Nick is also Floridian as well. So it's just in our blood. It's just what we do. I've never lived anywhere where it snowed. Have you?
No.
I've seen snow like maybe like 3 times in my lifetime. But
yeah, I don't like snow at all. Not for me.
Yeah.
I mean, it's cool to see. It's pretty, but like...
It's pretty.
Vacation, yes. Live there, never.
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah, it wouldn't work for us. But with that being said, our kiddos love swimming. Like, Evie is literally a mermaid. Yes. Like, she would stay all day in the water. Like,
and she's done that. Like, 8 hours in the pool on vacation. Yeah. Like, won't get out.
Yeah. She loves the water. Parker likes the water, too. But he likes the pool over the ocean, right? Because they have this, like, I mean, it's not weird because they're sharks in the ocean.
Yeah,
but...
he likes, I think, the ocean more than the pool. Evie likes the pool more than the ocean.
Okay, but I think it stems from you because you have a little fear of the ocean.
I do.
But it's okay.
I like the ocean. It's very pretty. But the sharks are going to get me.
Yeah. Like the mosquitoes get you? They love your blood.
Yes, they do.
They're like, yeah, okay.
Mosquitoes.
Anyways, we were like, we really want to start a clothing brand. Like, I think first off, like, in our very first few dates, we talked about, wouldn't it be so cool to have a clothing brand? Like, and then I was like, OMG, like, I wanted to go to school for clothing. Like, I love fashion. Like, that would be like literally my dream job. Mm-hmm. And then Nick is like, me too. Like, I've helped all these clothing brands throughout the years. So I'm like, we should do it. And then we were like, yes, we should do it. And we gave ourselves like a 2-year, like, we will get a clothing brand open within 2 years, right?
Yeah, something like that.
I think like after we got married, that was like the time frame.
Yeah.
So I was still in commercial real estate at the time, and kind of like, we can talk about this another time, but just kind of like quick little story. I was in commercial real estate. That's basically all I knew. I enjoyed it. I was good at it. I made good money. I was successful at a young age, but it was draining me because that passion and feel, I was missing it. So I knew like I needed to do something different. And I was seeing it with like my mental health and how I was going about my days. And it was kind of taking more out of me than giving me life. So then I came to Nick and I was like, we might need to up this like timeline. Like it might need to happen like sooner than later.
Yeah.
So then Nick took me to the Bahamas.
Yep.
For my birthday. We were in the pool under a palm tree and we're like, what should the name of our clothing brand be?
Yeah, we said that we were not going to leave the Bahamas until we had a name and a concept for the clothing brand, because we were ready to finally make it happen.
Yeah, and we wanted to like buy the domain and all that.
Yeah.
So then, sitting under a palm tree, I literally look up and I'm like, how about Palmr? But then I was like, but like spelled differently.
Yeah.
I didn't want it to be spelled the typical way Palmr is spelled. And I wanted it to be more like palm and then R.
Yes.
And then at the time, the R was because our last name starts with an R.
Yep.
So I was like, oh, that's so great. But then like the more and more this name started to come about, we started thinking of like other words that the R represents, like relaxation, like
Charge. Yeah.
rest, all of that. I'm like, okay, I really like this. I really like the Palmr without the E.
Yes.
And then you looked up the domain, it was available, right?
Yeah. Well, we couldn't. It was expensive, and so we did not buy that.
Oh, we didn't?
We didn't buy the Palmr.com.
Oh, yes.
But that's where we also added style to it. Like,
Yeah.
we thought that would be a little bit, hey, it's the Palmr style.
Yeah. So then we added the style. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So then we're like, okay, we really like this name. We're excited about it. And then we were like, what clothing should we like hone in on? Like, what should be our brand?
Yeah. Well, then from there, it was like, okay, well, if it's going to be called Palmr, we love going on vacations and be at the beach, then let's make the theme just resort wear.
Yeah.
Right? Like, let's make the resort wear the stuff that we would love to wear. We love being comfortable. We like high quality clothes.
And I think like
Yeah.
a thing about you, like being in this world for so long, like, what's good quality and what's
Yes.
not. And then like, I also think you can think outside of the box. Like, for example, like the hybrid swim shorts.
Yes.
You're like, oh, I really like this brand of swim shorts. I just wish it had this to it, or like different qualities to it. And I was like, yeah, I think that like really makes sense, because it's like providing clothing for what we love to do together as a couple and then together as a family as well.
Yeah.
So that is where the resort brand came about, resort wear brand. And my dream has always with Palmr, like ever since we came up with this idea, is to create clothing that will take you through your entire trip.
Yeah.
So even in the future, like creating nightgowns and, PJs and just like kind of, you're all like one-stop shop. How do you say that?
Yeah. One-stop shop.
For your trip.
Yeah.
For the entire family.
Yep. From anywhere, like, hey, you're in the airport traveling somewhere, something comfy that you can wear, to when you get there, going to the beach, going out to dinner that night, right? The pajamas, things that you're just hanging out in.
Mm-hmm.
It's like all of it together.
Yeah.
So, and that's what we love. We love wearing that type of stuff. So, yeah, I was totally on board. When we came up with this idea, it was like, this is great.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do this.
Okay. And then I think we came home.
Yep.
Got home from the trip. We were on a walk together around our neighborhood because we love to go on walks together. We really feel like that brings us together as a couple.
Mm-hmm.
So we were on our walk and I randomly said, what about doing resort wear for type 1 diabetics?
Mm-hmm.
And you were like, oh, you're onto something, because we have 2 type 1 diabetics in our lives that we deal with all the time. And in our situation, yes, we're a blended family. We have them 1 week on, 1 week off.
Yep.
But that doesn't mean their diabetes stops when they're just not with us. And it doesn't mean that we just turn off the diabetes when they're not with us. There's an app. If you don't know much about it, there's an app that monitors the numbers, and there's still doctor's appointments when we don't have them. And there's just cases, school nurse calling. Yep. So there's still stuff that diabetes is definitely still a part of our life, even when they're not with us. I also realize, especially with having Evie, I think like more in that girl realm of being like, it's so difficult. I think I noticed it with dresses for her.
Oh yeah, that's always my biggest challenge before you even came on. Is like, all right, you want to throw her on a dress, and it's you can't. When you have a pump with a insulin tube, you can't just throw it in your pocket or wear a fanny pack or something. It just made it more challenging, and so that's where I was like, man, I feel like there's a need for this that we could go into, and so the whole T1D story, obviously, first off, hits very close to home for us because we live it every day.
Yeah.
And as we've gotten more involved in the community, we've met a lot of people and just kind of found out what their needs are, and just become more and more passionate. And so for the type 1 diabetes stuff, there's a few areas that I think we're trying to cover. One being we want to make products designed for type 1 diabetics.
So meaning, like, let's talk a little bit about where we are right now with that and where we want to be in the future with that.
Yeah. The biggest challenge for a type 1 diabetic is if they have a tubed insulin pump. There are different types of pumps out there. The one that my kids use or our kids use is called the Tandem T-Slim. And so there's a cord about this long, and they create like a little fanny pack that has their phone, their pump in it. And then there's a cord that runs out of the pump and usually it goes into their leg, but there's other parts of the body that you can wear it on. And so we want to think of creative ways that we can make products that would, help the challenges of type 1 diabetics.
Yeah.
And so right now we released a belt bag with it. And then we only have women's stuff as of the time of this recording that we have been experimenting with, getting a lot of feedback. And the long-term goal is to release more products like this as we do research, as we get feedback and can develop it and find out what the needs are. So it's really important that we do it right.
Yes.
And part of it is we're starting small and testing things and getting feedback from you guys of, hey, this works, this doesn't work. And as we go and develop new products, and we can start mass producing, because right now we're doing all of the type 1 diabetes products at a very small level. It's not profitable, anything like that. But the goal is to then be able to mass market it and mass produce it, that we would then be able to bring the price down and make it more affordable and all. As we find the product, we just don't want to go out there and make a few hundred items of something and then find out from people that
it just doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
Yeah.
It doesn't work, right?
Yeah.
So that's why we've been a little bit slow.
And I think with the pockets, so I think like our main thing is pockets right now. So we're really like honing in on garments that have pockets already. And then what we do is we go into those pockets and we create slits at the bottom of the pockets on each side, right, of the body, because some people wear it on the left side, sometimes you wear it on the right side. So we want it to be accessible from any side that you happen to wear it on in your body. So basically, if the pump will lay in the actual pocket of the garment, and then we've created like slits where the tubing part can go through the garment, through the pocket, and then connect to wherever it's located on your body. So that's where we're at right now with the pockets. And it's so amazing how many people have messaged us, especially women. I feel like it's been a lot of women, been like, OMG, I have spent so many years cutting up my clothes to make these little slits so that I can run my tubing through it. And they're like, I'm literally in tears that you guys are creating this. So that means so much to us, but it's so important for us to do this right and do it well and create the garments that actually make sense.
100%.
And then like stuff like, even like a sports bra, like a workout bra, or, in the future we have plans on creating like a full bodysuit for women where it has pockets, where you can have the slits and all that stuff, because when you wear a dress, there's really, unless it has pockets, there's really nowhere to put your equipment unless you're either wearing a bag in front of you or a crossbody or hiding it underneath the dress, which obviously could make you like, it looks kind of awkward. But yes, so that's where we are with the pocket.
Step 1 is making products for type 1 diabetics.
Yes.
Part 2 is making products that are about supporting type 1 diabetes. And so a big part of our mission is we also want to help raise money for type 1 diabetics. And so we have certain items that are our support items. And I think it's important that we actually talk about what we're doing on the giving side. And so I'll share a little bit about that. We give right now 1% of our gross sales off the top to a company called Touch by Type 1.
Yes.
They're here out of Orlando. We've met them. We know them personally. We know the amazing work that they're doing. There's a lot of great companies out there, but we're very passionate about our local community, as well as the stuff they're doing worldwide, because there's obviously other great companies out there that are bigger, but we really felt like we can make the most impact by helping this company. And so they raise a lot of money to do awareness things, as well as local events, and to raise money for research, which all goes down to the institute down in Miami.
Yes.
And so, we should be able to meet those people very soon, which we're really excited about.
Yeah. And I think another important thing about Touch by Type 1, which they do a really good job in locally, is like bringing the Type 1 diabetic families together in Orlando and even like further out of Orlando. But they have certain events, like, for example, the Dance for Diabetes. So this actual program has given Evie the opportunity to go every Saturday to a dance class where all the other girls that are in the dance class with her have type 1 diabetes too.
Yeah.
And it's like, everyone there is the same. Like, there's
it's all free.
It's all free. And it's just so amazing for me, at least, to like see that. And even like, if I haven't been able to go to one, like Nick will record it for me. And then like when I'm listening or hearing back the playback, you hear like the alarms going off and the notifications going off.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, like we always think it's us, but in those types of events, it's not. It's everyone in there. So I do really love that about Touch by Type 1. And then we are building relationships with Breakthrough T1D. We are actually attending their local gala here this weekend. So it's just been great meeting all the people in the community.
Definitely. And so what we're doing right now is giving back 1% gross. And we've had a lot of people ask us about it. And it's like, why is it only 1% and all this? And the answer is, for right now, we are a brand new business. We are not making money. We don't put any money in our pockets at all. But it was important that even if we're not making a profit, we wanted to give back at least something. So we made a decision that no matter how much money we make, we're going to give 1% off the top to Touch by Type 1 or some other, diabetes initiative. On top of that, we have certain items, support items, that we're actually giving 100% of our profits to, because it is about, we did a shirt for Touch by Type 1. We give 100% of our profits, not of that item, not the entire company, but like
that specific
we take out the cost and we give it 100%, because that's what's important. And there's a lot of other giveaways. What we're doing, we donated some stuff to Breakthrough for their auction. And so it's really important that we're able to get out there and support no matter what size that we're at. So those are on the diabetes side. Those are really the two main parts, but there's actually a third part of what we're trying to do, because I don't have type 1 diabetes and you don't have type 1 diabetes, and there's most people in the world don't have it, thank goodness. But either you know somebody who does or you don't, but everybody feels
inspired by the story.
You can be inspired by the story. We also are big believers with everything we've gone through that self-care is so important. And so everybody has gone through something in their lives, some type of trauma or bad experience, and the good times and the bad times. And we've realized on our end, even though our stories are all different, we can relate on how important it is to take care of ourselves. And so I know for Rebecca and I, the reason we love to take these little, mini vacations, go down to the Bahamas for a day or two to get away, is because life is hard. Having 2 kids with type 1 diabetes is not easy. Having a business is not easy. Raising kids, not easy. Kids getting ready to become a teenager, not easy, right? And so if you don't take care of yourself on a self-care standpoint, you're not going to make it. And so for us, for all the people who are either a caregiver for someone with type 1 diabetes or any other supporter out there, or just doing life, everybody can relate to self-care and how important. And so that was another part with our theme of resort wear, going on vacations. was really important. And so for us, Palmr is also about our own personal journey on self-care and taking care of ourselves.
Yeah, totally agree. And we really just want anyone, if you have type 1 diabetes or if you don't have type 1 diabetes, to feel like good when they put our clothes on, feel confident in it, feel like, man, not only does this look good, but it's actually really good quality too. And when I purchase this, I'm giving back. And I know that's really important to a lot of people. And obviously it's very important to us. We just really want to, and especially for the diabetics, like feel confident, like be like, hey, this, whatever it may be, this romper or this dress has these pockets that accommodate what I have. And even if the diabetic doesn't have the pump with the tubing, like what goes into diabetes, there's so much. Like you have to have so much with you at all times. Like you have to have potential low snacks with you, like gummies, and then you have to have probably a phone with you most of the time. And it's just a lot to bring with you. And having, like, for example, our Resilient belt bag, I wear it daily. Like, it's my daily go-to bag that I just, like, put it on. There's enough pockets where I can have gummies in one of the pockets and I can have all my other stuff. And even when we don't have the kids, like, I still find myself using the Resilient belt bag with the gummies in there because, like, just in case, you know, like, I just always have them around. It's just really feeling like, hey, I'm doing good for a community, but I'm also feeling really good when I put this on, and I'm remembering to, like, take care of myself and focus on, you know, everyone has different needs at different times in their lives. And we really want to be like a positive light to not only the diabetic community, but also everyone, parents, grandparents, friends, loved ones, just everyone.
Yeah, definitely. This is a lot of great stuff. We don't want to make this too long. This is our first one, but I do think it's important that we talk about why we're doing this. Why did we decide that we're going to get on YouTube? Because we spend a lot of time on social media right now, on Instagram and all, but we felt like we wanted to go on this journey of doing YouTube as well.
So I really think that, especially with Instagram, like, seeing that the retention rate of a video watch is 3 seconds, it's like, well, there's so much that I can get through in 3 seconds. Like, it's hard. And it's kind of like, I have like a love-hate relationship with social media because I feel like, especially Instagram is like the snippets of all the wonderful things going on in your life. And like, there might be times in my life where I'm just like not feeling the greatest. And then I like look at Instagram and I'm like, ugh, like, why doesn't my life look like that? Like I said, I love Instagram, love social media. But I think with YouTube, we're able to really have the ability to connect with other people in the communities, other families, other warriors, but also just kind of like explain ourselves a little bit more and bring you along on this journey for us, because it is a journey. We are at the very beginning stages of it. We want to know if you're a warrior, like we want to know like what would work great. Just the other day, Nick and I were saying like, we want to interview maybe a guy who's older than Parker of like, hey, what do you do with your equipment? Like, where do you put it? Like, if you play a sport, you're active, like, how do you go about all that? Because I feel like we have a lot of connections with girls and women in the community, but just like finding out that information, I feel like this is a good way of doing it because it not only offers us the ability to talk to you all, but it also lets you all ask us questions and like give us feedback on like what we're doing good, what you would like to see, like what you wish was out there in the market. So I think it's really like building that connection. And then also, and I think Nick and I have always wanted to do this with starting this company, we want to be transparent and show our story and like show the good and the bad of it. Like, you know, there's some really good times and then there's some really hard times. So I think showing that is important because, like, in all reality, I quit my job, so I'm doing Palmr full time. And this is like, and we're not making any money off of it. And not that if it's a big deal, like, I know, like, I have enough faith to know that this can become something. We're in the stages of right now that we're doing this because we believe in it and because we want to give back and want to do this because it's important to us.
Exactly.
So I think it's really like connecting and having the ability to have deeper conversations.
Definitely. And I'm so excited about doing this YouTube channel because just the ability to do that longer form content and come on and have a honest conversation. And most of the time it will probably be just me and you, but we definitely want to bring in other people to have conversations with.
Yeah.
We want to answer your guys' questions. Like, we've gotten a lot of questions, really good questions about like, why are we doing things? Why are we doing it this way? And we've touched on a few of the answers on this video, but like, really do videos to help you guys understand and, you know, tell our story. And, you know, not everybody's gonna agree on how we do things, but we're going to listen to what everybody says and question, are we doing it the right way at the end of the day? And so we feel like this was the best way to do it. And also, like we're talking about, we just want to be able to connect with people.
Yeah.
We've just fallen in love with this T1D community and the amazing people that we've met.
And the stories
And the story.
are just so like inspirational. And like, I know there's many times, especially me coming into the situation as a stepmom, I'm like, there's no one in this world or planet that can relate to me. Like being a stepmom to 2 kids with type 1 diabetes, like it's super rare. But like over time, meeting these families and moms and just dads and sisters or whatever, like it's so amazing of like, you feel so inspired and you feel like, man, like I feel like they're part of our family after we like meet them a few times. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I just feel so close to them.
And one of the things that I know that I was even saying this earlier, today we're having a conversation with somebody that, you know, it's one of the biggest challenges that most, I believe, type 1 diabetes families deal with is just when you're with other families and other kids, they don't always fully understand what you're going through and how you can't do everything. So we just had Halloween and the challenges of it, right? Like, do we want our kids to enjoy it? 100%. Are we going to let them eat candy? 100%. But they can't eat as much candy as the other kids. Like, I heard one parent tell their kid, this is your one day you can eat as much candy as you want. Go make yourself throw up.
Oh.
Yeah. I was like, we can't allow that to happen on our end, right? You know, there's things we got to make sure they're eating properly.
Well, and then they also had to have like dinner in their system. It couldn't just be like fully candy.
So we just had a little technical issue, but we're back. We're back. So we are going to wrap this up. Yeah. Is there any closing remarks that you would like to make?
I was so excited that we're actually doing this.
You've talked about doing this for a very long time, like months, us sitting down and finally filming something like this.
And I think it like kind of like puts a little bow on our brand because it's more than clothing. It's just about building a community and connection. So I'm super excited to be here. Can't wait for many more and to share more information to you guys and kind of share more about us and our kiddos and all of that. So we're super excited. Thank you for being here today.
Yeah. Awesome. So I think we need to go out in style and toast one more time, a little top off, and cheers to our very first episode and many more to come. All right, here we go. Cheers.
Bye, Palmr fans.
Thanks guys for tuning in.
Bye.